We've got a lawsuit with Southern Cal, the Pac-12, the NCAA. Should athletes be considered employees? In other words, are they going to unionize? I don't think they'll ever have that power. What are we hearing out of the National Labor Relations Board? Is it relations?
National Labor
Relation. Plural.
Maybe it is relations. I don't know.
Yes. Back to the relations, how we started the show. All right. So what do we got going on here with being unionized?
So basically the it is relations. National Labor Relations Board filed an unfair labor practice complaint against USC, the Pac-12, and the NCAA, asking that athletes at the school be classified as employees. A November hearing has been set. The complaint comes after a February 2022 complaint from the National College Players Association, which has filed an unfair labor practice charge. Basically, this would take years to go through the courts. It would take years. But it is another step into athletes trying to be recognized as employees, at which point they would try to unionize. I'm with you. I don't think this would happen because what people don't realize is that colleges are by their very nature meant to be socialist, not capitalist, which is to say the football program brings in the revenue so the college can then use that revenue for the college. Theoretically, the football program is for the college.
For the record, if they unionized, if college football players unionized, that would be the end of the sport. And I didn't say that about NIL. I didn't say that about the transfer policy. I think the kids deserve that. But this is a different level. If you were to unionize, it would be the end of college football as we know it. That would be the absolute end. And I don't understand why they want to unionize. It seems to me that everybody's getting a pretty good end of the deal if you've got your NIL collective straight. And how do you compare Tennessee that does have their NIL collective straight to Florida that doesn't have their NIL collective straight? Everybody that basically walks in the door at Tennessee gets some sort of NIL offer. And I'm talking enough to do pretty much what you want to as a college kid. I'm not saying you're getting rich. You're not making Nico money. But everybody that walks through the door, and as long as you keep up your obligations, if they say, hey, you got to be at this event or that event or that event, you're making a decent stipend at the very least. And I don't understand why they would unionize because right now they have all the leverage. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, so think about what happens if they unionize. And I don't think they've thought this through. If college football players unionize, well, then it's not just going to be college football players that unionize. That money is going to have to be dispersed evenly to all athletes. So they're going to have to share athletes with the softball players not generating any revenue.
Yep.
And when that happens, the schools then are going to be hurting for cash. So the NIL collectives will shrink because they're going to go to the boosters and say, hey, stop spending money on these players. We need you to spend money to help us upgrade our facilities or, cover our budget losses because we're paying these players. At which point NIL collectives will start to fall. So this all unionizing will do long-term is reduce what college athletes are able to get from NIL money now and make them have to share it with the rest of the sports that don't generate any revenue. It would be even more anti-capitalist for them. I'm with you. It's not a smart move for them to want to unionize.
So you said this would take years. What real argument do we have? Because we talked about the WWE and NASCAR has talked about this, but it really never got off the ground. Is there any concern this even gets off the ground?
It's possible. I mean, because it's going through the courts. I mean, I don't think this part holds up because the NCAA is a nonprofit organization and colleges themselves are nonprofit organizations. And they could theoretically say, look, we got researchers who do a lot of work and generate revenue for the university, and we use that money to fund the university. That's what college football players are doing by going to win games for us. It's the same concept. When you commit to a college and you're a student of the college, and you are doing stuff within the capacity of the college, that revenue you generate is generally for the college, whatever it is at the time. So that's the whole point of these college athletics programs existing in the first place in a lot of ways. They're doing this to get something back in return. So I don't think it would hold up in court. The problem with WWE or any of these others is this is a league. They're not trying to fund all these other things with this money. They're just trying to fund the league and make the league profitable. And because they're the only league, it's ridiculous that WWE athletes aren't unionized. They should be. And it's insane that they're not, or not even considered employees. But yeah, NCAA colleges, it's a totally different story.
Yeah, I don't see this one getting off the ground, but we shall see.